Welcome to The Advisory, Australia's #1 and longest running advice show, now celebrating a whole year of delivering perfect, flawless advice. If you don't count the 2.5 years and 75 episodes we done did before 2022, which we don't because they're non-canon in this version of the advisory continuity.
I count them.
James, don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even think about it. Don't just take those episodes.
Oh, I love
Take
those
that
ones more.
continuity.
It's so hard to forget them because I love them so much, you know?
Yeah, what I would say is take those ones,
Yeah.
take them in your mind,
Mhm.
gather them in your mind, and sort of put them in the trash can of your mind.
All right, hold on.
Put them in the bin
Oh,
of your mind.
there they are in my favorite spot. I put them on a plinth.
You put them on no, that's the opposite of what we're trying to do.
David, it's a
You
year.
misunderstood.
It's a whole year of nightmares and mess and slop. And we're emerging from the garbage water like a sludge phoenix reborn, you know?
Sometimes analogies get away from you, and that was one such time, I feel.
No, exactly
It
what
started-
that was. I wrote that one down. That's how much I wanted to say it
You
precisely.
pre-prepared
Yeah,
that?
my words were very precise on that one. Yeah.
So you pre-prepared that, and that was the best you could do.
No, that was the most accurate that I could do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know what? You got me. That is the most accurate you could do. It's not the best. It's just the truest. It's the most authentic. You know?
Yeah. Inaccurate and great and wonderful and good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, agree to disagree. James, this week we're going to cover. I thought this would be a fun experiment, which I think we'll do every year because I think it's just gonna. The longer the show goes on, the more unhinged this will become.
Mhm.
I thought it would be a fun exercise to recover the questions we did on episode 1. Because if you put a gun to my head and you said, DMAC, what did you talk about on the advisory podcast last week?
Yeah.
You may as well just pull the trigger. So, as far as what happened a year ago, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and we've changed as people, you know.
We're
Our
different
advice might have alchemically, you know, developed into a
It could have
different,
done.
you know, a different
I have a
state.
beard
I don't
now.
know.
I have a beard. That's different.
You've got a different microphone.
I've got a Hey, by the way, we're both matching boys now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Matchy. We got the
Well, are
same
you
mic.
sort of, I'd say, originator style biter, but sure, you know, matchy, I guess is
You were
another
the
way
one
to
that
describe it.
suggested
But
I buy it, so it feels a bit disingenuous to.
well, I was talking about how
Well,
much
that
I
makes
loved
sense.
mine, and you were just sort of like, which one is it? Where do I get it? What colors do they
That's
come
not
in?
what happened.
You know,
That's not what happened. What happened was James said. What happened was I said I needed a new microphone arm, and then James said, "Oh, also this microphone's on
this is too
special.
much. It's
on
too much
special."
behind the curtains for people. Tech details
you
that no one gives a shit about. You know what I mean?
You just no, it was speaking to your character. If it pleases the court, this relates to establishing James's character.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, you're trying to. Okay, you
Yeah.
want me to
so
be
because-
judged by my peers now? Is what you're saying? No, go right
Yeah.
ahead, dude. Yeah,
Court of, have you-
fucking
James,
round them up. Court of public
I'm sorry,
opinion. Let's do it.
Let's do it, because what actually happened is it was James's idea that I buy it because it was on.
You're on a
spec, and
hearsay.
He was the one.
You're on a
Yeah,
leading.
I was just gonna buy a new microphone arm, and James said, "Oh, it's half price. It's half price. How could you pass it up? I work for Shaw. How could you pass up buying this microphone that I am sponsored to sell you?" That's what happened. I was a victim of subversive advertising, subconscious advertising.
Are you done?
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Are you done addressing the people?
That's incredibly condescending, but yes, I will hand it back to you.
Your Honor, he drew this court here today. I'm not trying to be condescending. This was
I
his
didn't throw this.
idea.
You started.
Okay,
no, hang
so-
on. That's not what happened. Hold on. Now you mischaracterized.
Ladies
how the
and
court came
gentlemen,
to me.
Esteemed guest, the judge with a wonderful wig, I might add. It's a great wig.
Objection, brown nosing.
David has brought you all here today against my wishes. I know you're all very busy. You've got a lot to do. You know, there are submarines missing.
Objection,
There are
still brown
house
nosing.
prices that no one can afford. You know, we have bigger fish to fry, is what I'm saying. And, you know, I apologize on David's behalf for him dragging you out here today for this absolute slop fest. But what I would like to say, just to sort of rebut the points that David was making there,
Here
Um,
we go. Here we go.
I, it's been a while since my intro to law class, so I'm not sure if this is by the book, but what David said was a big old fat stack of dumb cunt bullshit. All right? And it's all lies and slander. Lies and slander is what today is all about. And just remember that when you're voting, casting your vote today, which one of us looks like a fun, lovable, jovial truth teller, and which one of us looks like that salamander guy from the movie Monsters Inc. You know, who's the one that looks a little bit suspicious? You know what I mean? Which one of us?
Yeah, he's. Let me tell you, that guy's up to no good.
Like, and remember that, everyone. The character that David most resembles,
Objection.
by his own
Objection, that's
words,
not what I meant.
is, and I
Objection.
quote, up to no good. I rest my
Objection, that's
case.
not-
Thank
that's
you,
not
everyone,
fair.
for your time. Thank you so much for coming out. And again, Judge, fuck. If I could use the speak of today, that wig slaps. Love it.
Fucking hell. I'm gonna lose this case for real because you were just full on brown nosing.
Could you
Shamelessly.
do me a favor? Could you turn the gain on your microphone up just a little bit? Because I got you
Yeah.
fully cranked.
You got me real
Yeah.
phrasing, but yeah, I can do that.
I got you fully talked. As Colin would
Ow.
say, I've got you bricked all the way up. You know what I mean?
How much do you need is the question.
Wow.
Because that's a little bit.
Whoa, that's a lot of it.
Listen.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Ease
that's
up,
a lot.
Turbo.
Hold on.
Ease
Hold
up,
on.
Turbo. Let's tone it down.
How's that?
Okay, that's too. Again, I meant
It-
I need 2 decibels out of you.
I did less than half
You
a
are
twist of
fully
it.
fully maxing out. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, this is what happens when someone bites your style and they steal the microphone that you've got,
Okay.
and they have no
Okay.
fucking idea what they're doing.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
How's that?
Perfection. Thank you.
Okay. Listen. We can't get into it. It's really boring audio stuff. James, listen, it's the anniversary episode. It's a chill vibe. I know we started very combative. we started with an argument, which is the most advisory thing of all time. Is to commence a stream
Hey,
episode with an argument.
it's just guys
Um,
being dudes, you know? Just a couple of
it's just
guys being
guys being
dudes.
dudes.
Yeah.
Guys being dudes. James, we're going to cover the questions we did from the first episode of the advisory.
Yeah.
And then in the post show, in our live post show, which we will probably publish somewhere at some point, outside of the Twitch VOD. Forgot what VOD meant for a second. We are going to basically. I've been working out a format for like a Sunday stream idea that we've been wanting to do for ages. We're going to give it a whirl. But basically, what I'm saying is this is an anniversary episode. Wherever you are, grab yourself a beverage, put your feet up,
Oh,
enjoy the
no,
festivities.
dude. Oh, you did. That's a cardinal sin of online
that?
entertainment is to say,
What?
like, hey, and before you jump into this, you know, advisory anniversary episode, hit pause on your little podcast player of choice, go grab yourself a cup of tea and settle in for a lot. No, dude, it's the internet and it's digital. Suck this episode down wherever you get it good and proper. Thank you.
I was just trying to set the tone, but fine.
That's the
we can
tone.
just do
Okay,
some
I guess we're
advice.
setting different tones. That's the tone you want to set. Nice cup of tea, put your feet up, real cozy,
Oh, no, I
snoozy,
meant-
retirement
I
village.
didn't mean.
And me out at the bars watching a fucking hardcore show.
No,
Elbow
no,
a dude in
hold
the
on.
face. Suck this episode down.
I didn't mean a cup of fucking tea. I meant make yourself a fucking old fashioned. Make yourself a vodka Red Bull. I
Snooze.
meant get your drink on. When I say
Snooze.
beverage, I never mean fucking tea. What am I? A 7-year-old English woman?
Yes, at heart, notoriously.
You know what? You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, that is. I kind of backed myself into that one.
Hey, it's
Let's do
okay.
some
You know,
advice, though.
it's
Shall we?
been a year of learning, loving,
it?
laughing, and growth. Okay.
I haven't learned fuck all.
And right at the tail end, right as we're about to edge our toes over in to the coming year of podcasts, you know, who's to say there isn't another golden learning opportunity? And this is one of them.
Okay, we could say that. I don't know how true it would be. We could say it.
Well, I mean, we don't let truth get in the way of this anything to do with this
And we
show.
never will. We never will. James, ever since I got out of hospital for chronic problems, my husband has been introducing me to some games every evening. One
Okay.
game used to be about doing things while my eyes are blindfolded, involving puzzles, Rubik's cubes, shaped objects, etc. We take turns to do it just for entertainment. That's really weird. What?
Hey, Mary, heard of a little game called Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or whatever the new one's called? Who gives a shit?
Tears of tears of something.
Tears of Freedom and Killing?
Tears of
Hey,
Wild.
Mary, ever heard of Legend of Zelda Tears of Freedom and Killing?
Do
Ever
that, but
ever wanted to
blindfolded.
play it with your eyes? Here's a better way to play it. No eyes.
Without 'em. No eyes. No idea what you're talking about.
It's too
Was that
early.
anything?
It's too early to be
Sorry.
making
Okay. Yeah.
making
Sorry. You're
jokes
right.
like that.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's post-show content. That's
Oh,
sloppy
don't say
post-show
that.
content.
Don't say that because we want them to come to the post show, David.
Well, I don't know.
Just get back to the
I
question.
don't.
Just run back to the question and hope they don't notice.
I'm panicking, James. I've been sick for 2 weeks. I'm not in my right mind. Okay. I'm not there mentally. Okay. Just a couple of days ago, he's been trying to get me to sign papers while wearing a blindfold.
Hell
What?
yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I refuse to do it because he never lets me take a look at what I'm signing, either before or after.
Hey, don't worry
He
about it.
says
It's a game.
this isn't.
Stop ruining the game for me and you.
It's for fun.
Now sign on the dotted line. I will guide you there.
He says that he was just trying to see if I could leave the same signature every time I sign, but I couldn't help feeling uncomfortable. I told him I don't want to play this game unless and until he shows me the papers first, and he said never mind then, and stopped bringing it up. Bro,
Wow.
if first of all, if you feel if there is a shadow of a doubt in your mind
Yeah.
that he is trying to get you to sign something, suspicious, that's a bad relationship,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good point. And also, my guy, have some dummy papers ready. You know,
Because you can just her eyes are covered. You can swap them.
you can swap them out. And when she says,
Where's
"Oh,
the
what am I even
grifting
signing?"
instinct?
and you go, "You're not signing anything. It's just a blank A4 piece of paper." And so are these other three, but don't look any more
Don't check.
past three. I know I'm holding 9
check
pieces
number
of paper, but only check 1, 2, and 3.
Last night he tried to convince me to give it a try and even volunteered to go first. I asked if he was going to show me what I was going to sign, and
Yeah,
he made a face and said no. It's the rules and I should respect them.
that's a fair point.
The-
Yeah.
Well, it is his game.
It is his game and it is the rules, and also please respect the rules of his game. Thank you.
What's happened here is he's been very clear.
Yeah.
He set some boundaries.
Yeah.
And you're trying to transgress those boundaries.
Mm,
And a big part of a healthy relationship is respecting boundaries.
that's true.
And what he's not doing that.
I
Just
read that.
candidly.
I've recently been reading for Carl, and he says that a lot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Ever heard of him?
famous on boundaries.
You
is
probably
he?
haven't. You probably
I
haven't.
haven't
But
heard of him.
yeah,
I didn't think he was big on boundaries. That's good.
he's big on social boundaries, tearing them down.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a joke just for me and James that the audience isn't going to understand.
And one other person
James,
that might have read any of his works.
Patrick will get it. Except he won't understand why you said for Carl instead of the guy's name. He's gonna message me when he hears this and go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I refused, and he kept on about how I keep acting worried and suspicious for no reason. He said I clearly don't trust him, and he was hurt by finding out that now after everything we've been through. We had an argument, and I told him to drop it and not bring it up again. Period. He was mad, despite saying it was no big deal. He was obviously upset with me and kept talking about how I don't trust him and that I was out of line to assume or suspect anything from him like this. I may be paranoid, but I couldn't help it. I do think I was rude to him after he stood by my side when my own family. They always do this. There's a weird detail here.
Right.
I might be paranoid, but I couldn't help it. I do think I was rude to him after he stood by my side when my own family didn't even visit. That's obviously she had chronic problems in the hospital. It's had to
Yeah.
stop. Um, so first of all, I mean, it's insane that he won't show you what he's asking you to sign.
Yeah.
That's a big red flag. But then is it one of those like tests where he's like, "Ah, if she doesn't ask me, that's how I know that she trusts me."
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. He
You know
could.
how like every 2 or 3 weeks you send me a text message and you say, "Send me your bank account logins as a trust exercise."
Yeah.
And if I don't, then you pull the few remaining shares I have in Black Swan Society. And I do that
No,
every
then I release the
2 to 3
nudes.
weeks. That's the threat now?
Why,
When did that
are you
change?
comfortable with them being out there, or?
I mean, they don't. It's not my best. It's not my good side. My good side is like the side where my hair parts. But I mean, other than
Yeah,
that, yeah,
I thought your balls in the shadow. It's just like it washes it all out. You don't really get the whole view of it. So
I'm not a photographer, so I'm not that uncomfortable
that's
with it.
accurate. That's accurate, and I know, and I
Oh,
see, and I know. So
ooh.
that's all I'm saying.
You know, they say, yeah, oh, you got 3 lenses on your phone. That's gonna fix the problem.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, it doesn't.
yeah.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Sometimes the use is the issue.
Look, yeah, I think
Wait, in your head, is there a good version of a balls picture?
of course,
Oh,
yeah,
you just not been sharing that technique with me.
yeah. I mean, you
You
don't
wake up
want
every
to,
morning
Doug. What?
and you
Yeah,
don't
the
share
magician
that with
doesn't
me.
reveal all of his secrets, dude. Okay, it's how he keeps himself in business. All right.
Oh, I see. That's how you make your income?
The OnlyFans, yeah, the Black Swan OnlyFans. Yeah.
Oh, I thought those were different. I thought that was by the guys that made the film. I didn't realize that
No,
was us.
that's us. Yeah, that's
Interesting.
us.
That's
And you.
crazy.
A lot of it's you.
It's
A lot of it's
me.
you. Some of it's
I'm
me.
starting
A
to
lot of it's you.
I'm starting to sense that since I lost my seat on the board of directors, that I'm kind of being cut out of a lot of conversations and information. Starting to get that vibe.
Look, like this question is detailing, it's important to know what you're signing. You know,
That's
at the
true.
end of
You
the
did
day, it's
Zuckerberg me. I
important
didn't
to
read it.
know what you're
Yeah.
signing,
Yeah. That's on
even
me.
even if it's the rule of the game that you're not allowed to see it. Which, by the way, the fact that she's like, hey, look, yeah, he might be trying to dupe me into signing stuff that I don't know what it is, and he's not going to reveal it to me. But he did stand by me that one time. It's like, how is that the trade off in your mind?
Also, just happened. It just occurred.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not like, oh, over years he's been. It's like, no, just like fully two
Also,
weeks
this is
ago.
like this. It's a really bizarre sort of setting of the bar to be like, oh, my partner did stick by me through my medical issues. Yeah. Yeah, they should do
It'd
that.
be it'd be fucked up if they didn't.
It would be absolutely fucking bonkers if they didn't do that. Because that's
But
the
this,
minimum
thi-
level. We haven't
but
even we're at 0 for him to stand by you. That's at 0. Not even at 1, right? That's
but
bare
this is
minimum.
James, this is the issue. Like, this is I don't know the gender of the question asker, but certainly she refers to her partner as a he.
Yeah.
I think this speaks to how baseline awful men are. That this is like a, yeah, he didn't abandon me when I got ill. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big tick in the column
And he
for
is really good at being persuasive. Although I guess maybe he's not good at being
he's
persuasive
not
because he can't
no
even
gift in
convince you
hand
to like sign something
with your
without you
eyes
seeing it.
blindfolded. Do you think do you think he started the pitch of like, oh, it'd be fun if we did things blind? Like, do you think he had the end game in mind of signing whatever these papers are when he pitched the Rubik's Cube blindfolded?
Of course. Yeah, this is like when you sell something on a website for really cheap, and that's just to put them into like a different part of the funnel. That's like, okay, we know that they've already committed a small amount of money, and people that have already made a commitment are more likely to continue making commitments. And now we have their
Oh,
information, so we can keep bombarding them with some stupid fucking story based email chain that no one fucking ever reads in their goddamn life. Stop buying into ClickFunnels, you lunatics. Now, that
that felt like a personal issue that just happened.
that is what I feel has
Are
happened
you
here.
okay, James? Blink
He's
twice if you need help.
he's stepping her up. He's walking her up the rungs of like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, can you do do a Rubik's Cube blindfolded? Can you catch this blindfolded? Can you do this other thing? Can you do this? And it's all leading to sign them papers. And then who knows what comes next?
What do you think he's trying to get her to sign?
I'd say a will. He's fully trying to kill you dead.
A will. That's good. Yeah. That's good. A will is powerful. Because the thing about a will too is like you could do that and not kill her for years, right? But the will's in place.
Well, you'd have to not kill her for at least like 12 months or whatever. In movies, you know, when they have like a death policy on the will, and it has to be like after 12 months or something like that. That might just be movies. I don't know.
I always thought it was like car insurance. It was like a 30-day cooling off period. It's like if you kill him,
you have a 30-day note. 30-day. Please don't die. Please don't die. Period.
Die. I guess don't get murdered, because if you die a different, yeah, that could all look suspicious. Yeah. Look. I think the advice here is
this is dog. You see the scene playing out in your head, right? She's like, "Oh, all right, I'll play the game." You know, does the sign, and he's like, "Oh, you did 3 that were exactly the same. Isn't that great?" And she's like, "But I wrote 7." He's like, "Don't worry about it. Hey, let's like watch Silo or something on TV." And then so they turn the TV on, and then they move on.
And they're so engrossed by how good Silo is that they don't even think about it.
2 months from now, a letter comes in the mail with her name on it, and it has sort of like a logo and a business name on it that she doesn't recognize. And she's like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about that." Snatches it out of her hands. He's like, that's just I've been moving some stuff around with sort of like the finances of the home. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about that.
It's a filing thing. You wouldn't get it.
And then, you know, a couple weeks, she starts to get a bit suspicious. Maybe she starts to look a few things up. She ends up calling the company, and they're like, "Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. You have a policy here with us." And she's like, "What? I never signed up with a policy for you guys." And then that's when like she hears, the key come in the door, and he's just arrived home, and she's like, and then hears him coming up the stairs, and then right when you think he's about to come into the room, when she's got that on the screen and on the phone, he comes in, and she's just on there like making something on a Cricut. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Subversion.
And she's like, hey, honey. Hey, how's it going? It's a tale as old as time. You've seen it a million times in movies.
You guys get it.
Yeah.
You guys get it. It seems to me, get out of this relationship.
Fully run, yeah.
Fully, you know what? Fully run. And I'm not going to suggest the classic David, kill yourself and you fake your own death and move countries.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Bit of a Freudian slip there.
Yes.
So.
Now, be very clear, because words are powerful, okay? And I want you to be very clear about what... Don't
kill yourself.
You mean don't fake your own death?
Yeah, well, also...
Never kill yourself. Don't do that.
Never kill yourself.
That's off the table. We don't even need to talk about that.
We shouldn't die forever yet. But also, don't fake your own death and move countries unless the situation fully demands it.
Yeah. If the situation necessitates
because it can happen.
Yes.
It can happen.
I'm not saying that it doesn't,
Okay.
I think that there are... No, I think I'm on board with you. I think there are very rare instances. I don't think it comes up as often as you hope it does. But I think that there are rare instances where that might be the solution.
You ever find a solution so perfect that you can't not suggest it? That's my issue with faking your death and moving countries.
Yeah, that seems like you've found your coverall. Yeah. Listen, James, most advice questions we get would legitimately be solved by that. You know what? That's very true. You can't argue with that. But for the sake of developing new content for the show,
we shouldn't.
Yeah, we shouldn't keep suggesting the best solution. All right? We know what the best solution is. Fake your own death. Disappear forever. Okay? We know what the best solution is. But we're not here to give you the best solution every time. Because you already know that one.
God. It's like the show you're working thing of like, yeah, we know you know the right answer, but
Yeah.
show you're working.
But how did you get there?
How did you get there?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you can't just say it every time. That's
And
not an
I
entertaining thing to
just
do.
I want to put a very mwah, little asterisk on the end of this thing.
Yeah.
Because it is the best solution. Obviously, we know that. We're professional advice givers at
Obviously.
this point. We've put
We've been
in
doing this for
tens
27
of
years.
hundreds of tens of hours. We've been doing this for tens of hours at this point.
Since
Okay.
1997, we've been doing this.
I will say that in real life, where it seems people have deployed the fake your own death strategy, it is very rarely pulled off in a way that everyone buys it and where that person is still thought to be dead to this day.
What? Okay.
Quite
what I would say
often,
to-
people fake their own death, they fuck it right up, and they get caught immediately.
See, James, that's because we provide advice. We don't provide instructions.
Consultation, the consultory.
We say the Consultory
Yeah.
is a way less catchy title, but I also love it.
Yeah,
We should
We
park that domain. might
we
need that.
absolutely should. And also, we scrap this show because we've done it. We've been doing it for a year. Get out of here. Old.
Fucking nailed it.
So old. Now, we come up with a rival show, the Consultory. Mergers and acquisitions.
Oh,
We merge with the advisory. We become the Consultory. We acquire the advisory. And then every episode from here on out, the backdrop is an office. We're sitting at wood office desks. You know, the ones that have the leather insert for no
Suit and
fucking
tie,
reason
for real.
whatsoever. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
sit full suit and tied out and we consult the internet.
My only concern
We provide
with that
consulting services to the internet.
is if I put on a tie, I look like a child.
Right.
That's a big concern for me personally. I could do a cravat.
What if
I could do
we,
maybe a bolo
because
tie.
again, a tie on a voluptuous neck, let's say, it's not really doing me any good, you know?
Okay.
So
It's just
is
constricting the.
Doug, no
What have you
tie,
got?
no tie,
Okay.
button up long sleeve shirt, puffer vest.
Oh,
Very consulting.
Oh!
Very consulting, you know what I mean?
Oh! And you mean like just the vest, no sleeves?
Just the vest. Just the vest, dude.
I
We go for the most
had a-
expensive ones we can, and we write it off
from Kathmandu.
on
I-
tax for this new consulting business.
I got a beer with a buddy of mine who works in sales the other night, and he rocked up wearing that. And I was like, Dan, buddy,
And he said, Dan, I'm
you're
so
a grown
sorry,
adult. You got to do better than this.
but either you have to leave or I have to leave. And I was here first.
And I turn up looking how I always do, which is a pretentious hipster.
Yeah.
And I said, one of us has to go.
Yeah. Which
Because
was
together-
confronting for him to take in, considering how you sort of looked at the time.
Well, that's exactly the problem. Is
Yeah.
I'm not doing anyone any favors either,
Yeah.
but he's somehow worse.
Yeah. It'd be a little bit like if I showed up sort of wearing like half a clown outfit, you know, with a big like fake, like comically large twizzly mustache, some random splotches of face paint, and I just sort of look like goofed out. And I come up to you and I go, "You look ridiculous."
That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, because I know I look ridiculous, but you, sir,
Yeah.
stones and glass houses.
Puffy's on deck, you know. Puffy's on deck. That's going to be
Puffy's are big in Sydney.
well. That's how we're going to start off our new consulting show, because we're going to say, welcome to the Consultory, here to do business with the
Are we
internet.
married to the name of the Consultory? By the way,
And then we pull the, you know, we sort of like pump out the pup, and we say Puffy's on deck.
Puffy's on. Oh, that's our catchphrase.
That's our catchphrase.
that
One of
goes in
many.
the merch.
One of many. Yeah.
We have more than one.
This is rife with merchandising opportunities.
I'm not against.
It gives us the ability to be disgusting, money hungry pigs.
This
because
is what
it's
I'm
on
most excited
brand.
about. Is we can sell our souls to make that sweet hard cash.
Yes.
We we can indulge in capitalism in a way we've previously never been able to imagine.
Yeah.
The
We
Black
could
Swan
be
is a collective co-op kind of socialist experiment of creativity, but the Consultory, we could just
it's
we could
ruthless.
sell NFTs, we could
Okay.
sell mattresses,
Yep.
we could sell data collecting and brokering agency honey.com that PayPal purchased that sells your data. We could do all kinds of unethical things.
Crypto gambling,
Crypto gamble. We could
sports
do
betting.
gambling streams.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Let's become millionaires by selling our souls.
By
Let's
making
go.
tens of dollars through podcast merchandising. Oh,
Let's go.
I'm excited for it. And
Oh no, it's not tens of dollars. We're gonna be selling like $120 hoodies that cost us $10 to manufacture.
oh, okay. So not
We're
even like
pitching
a
to a
print on
different
demand model type thing. Okay.
No, we're pitching to a different market. They want to feel like they're buying exclusive, high quality
Oh,
product.
yeah. And like at the live show, there'll be, limited edition cashmere prints of like
100%.
printed like cashmere sweaters, that type of stuff. Yeah. I get it.
I would 100%. If we had that as merch, I would buy it. That's who I am as a person, and that's unfortunate for me.
Conceptually, because I know, like, obviously we're goofing and stuff like that, but conceptually, not a bad idea. You know, it's a
This
fun
is that's
it's a fun premise from which to do the show that we already do. The
it's
consultory.
it's like the bizarro world version of us,
Yeah,
where I'm not a giant leftist,
yeah. What if
and I
what if we what if we didn't care about
care about
people?
people. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
humans. What if we said what's important to us is making money, and fuck people.
yeah. The
That's a
multiverse of
fun.
exploitation. Like, what if we were just really into like exploiting other people's labor? You know what I mean? Like that would be the
Yeah,
consultory. Yeah,
I would turn up every week in a different suit jacket.
yeah. I'd
Um,
be
I
carried
would
in.
probably well,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
yeah. I'm not gonna.
that's what am I
I'm not
gonna
gonna
fucking
walk like a
what am I gonna
pauper.
walk in
Yeah,
this on the floor, but other people have walked?
yeah.
It's
Yuck, dude. Yuck.
that's where the peasants are. Ja James,
I feel like that
which
would get really like insufferable to listen to at one point. You'd be like, I know that these guys are doing a bit, but I fucking hate both of these
yeah,
cunts. I fucking
there's a
hate
tipping
both of them.
point. There's a different let me say this. The fact that we can imagine that is emblematic of the fact that we know people that do shit like this.
Yeah.
It is we live in an insane time. We'll talk about it probably in the post show a little bit. But yeah, some of the ways that the people have been reacting to things that are happening on social media are next level, just embarrassing for humanity. Like it's embarrassing.
David, and again, because we'll touch on the post show, but David has dipped out of social media for many years, and via making this show, and the amount of stuff that you have to do for promoting a fucking podcast nowadays, or just any creative endeavor, he's had to only just barely dip like half of one toe back into like one social platform, and he's in a bad way. He's
Yeah,
in a bad
I
way.
James has watched me in real time
Yeah.
to have my brain so I have not been on social media for since I started helping you. I should also say, Black Swan is a partnership. James does a lot of the post-production heavy lifting, all of the heavy lifting for the advisory, does all the edits, does all the thumbnails. My main function at Black Swan at the moment is production. I don't really do the post-production stuff. And the little post-production promotion stuff I have been doing on Twitter makes me want to fucking kill myself because
Yeah.
it's like the you come across things in passing, not even like not even on purpose. I
Yeah.
post a tweet once every three. I'm writing a book on Twitter. If you don't follow us on Twitter, you should. I'm writing a book on Twitter, but it's all knock knock jokes, but it's also an existential horror.
Right.
You should follow us on Twitter. It's the most insane thing I've ever tried to do. We're in season 2 at the moment. You would know that if you followed us on Twitter. But the thing that it's alerted me to is there are just these little things that pop up on the radar
Mhm.
where you go, oh, that sucks. And then someone's like, you think that sucks? Let me drive it into a mushy paste of humanity and piss on it.
Yeah.
Piss on it. Piss on it with my words and my thoughts and my actions.
A lot of it is like walking past, like, because you're not even like actively searching for it. It's like walking past the most heinous conversations of all time, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck are they talking about?
It's
Holy
insane.
shit. And then you keep
Yeah.
walking down, and then there's another one that's, you're like, oh, how is that? How is your one even worse than that last one?
And my job is just to take the package from the start of the street to the end of the street. I'm not even
Yeah.
here for the conversation. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad touch all round, is what I'm saying.
It's not great.
Um,
It's not great.
yeah, it's not great. If you can be offline, you should be. Um, James, would you do us the honor, nay, the privilege of reading the next question we have, the last question we have for this anniversary episode of the advisory?
David,
Half Meal Travis.
Travis Goes West asks, so I
That's
go into
great,
it.
great name, great handle. Travis Goes West. Mwah, chef's kiss. Very good. It's like Fido Goes West, but Travis. You're looking
Is
at
that
me
sort of
funny.
like, is that a thing that like, why is Travis Goes West like a great name?
It sounds cool. And also
Oh,
Fido Goes
you
West.
think it's like,
It's a
it
very
sounds
good
like a
film.
Midwest emo band. Like,
No, it's a play on Fido Goes West, which was a Spielberg animation. It's a one animated film he did. We can't get into it. It's super nerdy and not interesting and not funny. It's not funny. It's not a funny thing to talk about. I just think it's a fun username.
it's so hard to know,
It's
because
a real
yeah,
delicate.
because the majority of stuff that you bring up's not funny. So it's like it's hard to sort of like, I'm like, is this like, oh, is this another like poignant David piece, or is this
No, that
like
one's just boring minutia.
Is David slam dunking a joke right now? You know what I mean?
Wait, you think that the poignant stuff is not? I guess that isn't funny. It's just okay. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm joking, of course. David's very funny.
I disagree, but go on.
Wow.
Hey,
Say it
know
again.
yourself.
Say it again. Don't make fun of my friend David. Idiot. Now, Travis Goes West asks, David's going east while
David
Travis
goes
going west. Uh,
Yeah, go on.
so I go to a restaurant around 3 p.m. and I'm he's dining solo. Ugh.
3 p.m.
A 3
Ooh.
p.m. solo dine.
Is that's not
Is
that's
that
not
an
lunch
early
and that's
dinner
not
or is that a
dinner.
late lunch? What is that?
Ooh. Either way you split it, it's not great.
Oh, it's not good. Split those uprights. That sucks.
3 p.m. is not. That's not a good time to eat a full meal.
That's nothing. That's nothing time. At most a snack and maybe a coffee. You know what I mean? If you need to pick me up.
Ooh. If you're the kind of person that doesn't get kept awake by coffee, which I'm not, because I'm a fucking weak boy. At 3 p.m. I did pour myself a bowl of Burger Men. Do you remember Burger Men?
I'm aware of Mr. Man's work. Yeah.
This is a reference that only Australian people understand. I poured myself a bowl of Burger Men, and I had like 3 of them, and they're just sitting on my desk, and have been since 3 p.m. when me and my team crack some beers on our work call. And they're
Yeah.
just
So
here.
you pull up that Zoom and someone's just like sitting there, knife and fork, eating like
That'd be insane.
steak and
That'd be
potatoes.
insane.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
If we're all grabbing a cold beverage at 3 p.m. to wrap up the week, and some, in a diner,
Mm.
toast, eggs, bacon, insane.
Oh, it's wild. Wild.
Just because they do all day breakfast doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, plus I really feel like an all day breakfast thing is like any part of the morning and then a nighttime thing. I think it fully skips. I think it skips an all day breakfast. Yeah, it skips like 12 to 5 and then like picks up again at like 6 p.m.
Do you okay, because I kind of eat a lot of breakfast food because like I can't really eat eggs. I'm kind of vaguely lactose intolerant and a bunch of other things. So I don't really eat breakfast food generally. I eat fruit and shit. Do you feel like, because I feel like if you're sitting down to eat breakfast food and not breakfast,
Mm.
you're either on holiday, which is a vibe I can understand. Oh, it's 1 p.m. and I finally rolled out of bed. I fancy myself some breakfast. I get that. I get that. But if this is your regular week,
Oh, I'm kind of okay with that now. Yeah, you've just painted a scenario in which I'm okay with an afternoon breakfast, because
yeah.
I picture it being like a very sort of like had a big night the night before. You know, maybe
Oh,
they
you're
played a show or they work late or whatever, and they woke up at like midday. They get to a diner at like 1, and then they're having that's their breakfast. I'm okay with that now.
if your day starts at 11 because of the nature of your work or the
Yeah,
nature of the week you're having, acceptable. 3 p.m., however, I
3
just
p.m.
I
is still
just
fucked
don't
for me.
see
Yeah,
it.
no,
I don't see it.
no,
I don't I don't see how you get there,
no.
candidly. And listen, hey, in the comments, in the hit us up on Instagram. If you have cause to eat breakfast food at 3 p.m., let us know why. DM us, send us a
Yeah,
voicemail. I need to know.
what's the
I'm sure
purpose for
Shane has
3
some
p.m.?
fucked opinion on this, by the way. Shane is going to be like, actually, you'll find. So how does Shane's a cool Australian. He'd be like, well, mate, you'll find that actually, when I go and wrestle crocodiles, I often will eat breakfast at 3 p.m.
Wow.
because he's a fucking cool guy. Like,
I just want to say, terrible Shane impression, and
I'm
obviously
not good at it.
that just reeks of the fact that you don't follow him on social media.
I don't have social media.
Wow, dude. Okay,
No,
that's fucked. Shane, I apologize. Obviously,
I
love
don't.
love the stuff you're putting out. I follow you on TikTok. I'm loving it.
I don't apologize.
David, I'm eating solo at 3 p.m. The place isn't very busy, which is fine with me. The waitress, Jay, brings me my food as I get about halfway through with my plate. The waitress brings me my food as I get about halfway through with my plate.
The waitress brings me with. No. There's a missing comma. The waitress Jay brings me my food, comma, and as I get up about halfway through my plate,
Okay.
oh, they've said get up twice. What it should say is the waitress Jay brings me my food, and about halfway through my plate, I get up and use the restroom.
Yes. I was gone maybe about 10 minutes. And when I come out to the table, it was cleared.
By the
Hold
way,
the phone, my
hold on.
guy.
So, however,
No, dude,
however,
there's no howevers.
no,
You're
no,
eating
no.
breakfast at 3 p.m.
Hold on.
You're in the shitter for 10 fucking minutes? What are you doing? If every waitress on the face of this earth keeps walking by an empty table for 10 minutes, she's clearing it.
What? Here's my counterpoint. Okay, you're at a bar. You get a pint and you need to go take a leak and it's just you by yourself. What you're going to do is you're going to take the bar mat, you're going to pop it on top of the glass. You know, the
Yeah,
little,
there needs to be other signifiers. First of
this is
all,
my point.
never leave a drink unmanned at a bar. You fucking lunatic. Never do that. Never do that.
Don't I have one on hand? Yeah, I have a bar mat. I was like, do I have a bar mat? So in Australia, like if I'm at a brewery or something, I don't have a glass, but you just pop that bad boy on top. You pop it on the bar,
Yeah.
and they're gonna watch that, and you're gonna come back and you grab them. They're not gonna bust that away.
And I
Okay?
just like to say we like to give very funny, jokey advice on this podcast. So I
Don't
would
leave a drink
very
alone
seriously
anywhere.
like to say never leave a drink alone anywhere, ever, because
With
David came back to his drink, right? And thankfully no one cleared it away because they saw the bar mat. However, he woke up a day and a half later in a bush, missing his phone, his wallet, his shoes, and one sleeve of his fully button up length shirt.
in Australia, just take it with you into the bathroom. It's what everyone does. It's fine. The only exception, I'm literally holding the bar mat, is if you know the people that work there and they're watching your shit. And that only works if it's like a suburban brewery. Anyway, my point being, there isn't like an equivalent procedure, I don't think, for like, don't clear my food.
The only thing that there could be is if you, and this is really, again, rolling the dice on, hopefully I don't get fully just swiped and robbed. But if you leave like a phone or a wallet on the table with the food,
Maybe a sunglasses, maybe like a like a coat.
yeah, a symbol of
Yeah,
that,
I haven't done.
there's a
I haven't
person
left.
about. Yeah. Yeah.
I would actually. This again. I'm doing a lot of call outs, but I genuinely want to know, how do people do, like, how do you deal with this if you're out solo dining? What are you guys doing? Because for me, if I'm solo dining, I probably have my sunglasses, probably have a book on. I always have a book on me, so I'll leave the sunglasses in the book because no one's stealing a book these
Right.
days. That's a safe bet. Like, oh, he's still there.
Yeah.
That guy,
Because
that
they're,
weirdo
they're
that reads
walking
books.
past and they're like, fucking Kindle-less bitch. And then they keep
Fucking-
hoofing past.
and they put the book in the bin.
Which I've really
keep
been
doing it.
considering getting a Kindle, but I don't know. I want to test one. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
We can talk about
I love
bullshit.
paper books, I just love having a paper book. I like having the
I'm just
physical version. I like it.
I'm running out of places to store them because I probably read 5 books a month. And I'm buying 5 books a month, and I'm quickly running out of like physical space for books. Is my issue.
Yeah. And but you're good because you own a place, you're paying off a place, you're there, you're situated. It's much more difficult to continue to add to the books when
You have
you
to
move, when you rent.
Yeah.
People who
That's
like set
true.
up shop somewhere and they just go gangbusters on whatever the fuck their thing is, if they're collecting like toys, fucking whatever, all for it. But
You
like
don't have to move it.
that's a renter's nightmare. I want to pare this down to nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, this is so fucking mundane. But like, that's why I didn't buy a lot of furniture until I bought a place. I was using the lightweight, cheap furniture that I owned because I didn't want to fucking haul that shit around.
Right.
Now that I own a place, I'm spending big bucks. I'm getting a nice fucking sofa.
Well, it gets
Right?
to a certain point where you're like, you just actually, and again, we'll throw you another sincere piece of advice. Don't do what he said. Because I did that too. Everyone does that. Everyone starts off
Don't do it.
with a
Buy nice
rinky-dink,
stuff.
cheap piece of shit furniture because they're like, whatever, it's easy to kick about. I don't want to spend too much. Just buy a nice thing because you'll have it for ages and it'll be so much better. The rinky-dink one from fucking Amart's gonna crack in like
It doesn't travel well.
in like a year and a half. It sucks.
Here's what I would say.
That
Stuff you
also
use every
being
day-
said, we bought a very expensive couch from Freedom, and I kind of fucking hate it.
let me.
Don't just
I
think that because it's expensive, it's going to be good, right? And don't even think it's expensive, it'll be good. And you go into the shop. We went into the shop and we sat on it multiple times, and we were like, "Oh, this is great." But you don't know how that bitch is going to wear in, or how it's going to slip and slide about. The connector ones, the ones that you connect all the pieces,
Mate,
avoid
no.
that shit. Avoid that shit.
If it's not a full piece of furniture, don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Nah.
You want the least number of moving parts in your furniture.
Yeah.
My desk is made of 5 pieces: a tabletop and 4 legs.
So
You want simple shit.
Yeah.
Okay. My couch, 1 object,
Yeah.
a big object with cushions on it.
Well,
Okay.
we had, and again, we're so far off topic here at this point, but we
We're
had,
in the-
we
lost
bought
our
it. We
source.
bought a nice couch, at one of the first place that we moved out to, and we're on the bottom floor, right? And lovely couch, 1 piece, it's like a Heather New Yorker style lounge or whatever. It's great. Loved that couch. And then the roof fell off on
Beg your
the
pardon?
bottom floor. So you live on the
Beg your
bottom.
pardon?
You live on the bottom floor. Lots of rain. A storm, big storm happened.
Sorry, the
And then
roof.
and then the
what fell off?
roof, the roof in our lounge room fell off.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking? How have you
Look
never
up-
brought this up?
Look
before?
up right now, right?
Yeah.
And you got
The
someone
ceiling.
living
mean the
above you.
ceiling.
Yeah,
mean the
that
ceiling.
fell off.
But the plaster. What do you mean?
The whole bit above you was like this.
Yeah.
Just went like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
We moved into a building that was the person that owned it clearly subdivided like just a one really large house into a bunch of different like
Oh
apartments,
God.
right?
Yeah.
And then water was getting in from like when it rained and stuff, which they knew about because the walls would cry when it rained. The walls would cry, you know,
Yeah.
all the time. And then one night there was a storm that was really bad, and then the whole ceiling sort of just bowed in with
Stacked?
water,
Yeah.
and then just the whole roof fell out on the bottom floor. And then when the owner came, she was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy. I can't believe that this has happened. Oh my God." And then when we're moving out, because you have to move out because the roof fell off, the guy that lives upstairs, who's been there for like over a decade, goes, "Yeah, that's the third or fourth time that's happened." So,
Don't stay there if that's happened more than once.
yeah, so didn't know that. So, if you're going to move in somewhere, there's another great piece of rental advice.
Talk to the neighbors.
Make sure the roof has never fallen off before,
It
you know?
seems like a thing you shouldn't have to check.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
that's
we had to
fucking wild. Did
and-
did that ruin the couch? I'm assuming that
Oh,
was
it
how the couch died.
yeah, it like fucked the couch. It like fucked the like I don't know what you call it, like at the sort of like a high up table sort of thing that we had. Yeah, just cooked them.
Insane.
Yeah,
Damn. I mean,
make sure that roof hasn't
yeah.
fallen off. You know.
It's one of those things that add it to the checklist.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
you 2 bed, 1 bath, 1 car. Roof didn't
Mm.
fall in any time.
To be fair, at the time, because it's your first one, you don't really have a lot of money. A dead giveaway that it wasn't going to be that great was the fact that the windows went out a certain bit and then had chains on them, so they didn't go all the way out, so people couldn't just break in and rob your blind.
Yeah,
And the other
that
one was the power cords that should have been in the walls being on the outside of the walls, and then just sort of like U bracket fixed onto the wall
yeah.
and
So I think there
painted
were
and painted over.
painted
Yeah,
to kind of blend in,
yeah.
camouflage. So I think there may have been other warning signs.
There's a few. There's a few. Looking back, there were a few.
My suggestion in general, if you're looking to rent or buy or moving into a property, is uh find yourself a good building and pest inspector that you trust. Even if you're renting, pay him a few $100 to just go in and be like, "Yeah, it's fine," or "No, it's
That's some
fucked."
privilege right there, mate. That's some rich privilege.
I
You're
well,
gonna
I
tell
okay,
you're gonna
let-
tell two uni students who are moving out for the first time, "Hey guys, you know how you got like no money? Kick a couple hundo down to the pest inspector to come by and see
I'm saying
and just see if the rental that you're gonna move into that's crippling you, right? It's
I'm
costing way more money than you can afford, but it's the entry level one, right? And it's close to the things that you need. Kick them a couple $100 and see if it's cool to live in."
I obviously mean if that's an option. If before before I was in a position to buy this, I mean, before I was in a position to buy this place, the idea of paying anyone anything ever for about 10 years of my working career was unfathomable, to the point where I was like, should I get my car serviced or go to the dentist? Like, those were things that I was like, I can't afford both. Do I want teeth or a working car? Those were the kind of decisions.
And here's
You know
and
what
you know what? Neither are fun to pay for. Doesn't matter.
No!
Doesn't matter how much money you've got. They both suck to pay
They
for
both
because
suck.
they're both
And they're both
expensive.
hugely inconvenient
Yeah.
to do. They both completely fuck your entire day. Doesn't matter when it's happening.
Yeah, very rarely do you ever sort of go into a mechanic and go, "Oh, I feel so great that I got all those things fixed." You just
And
go,
it
"Oh,
cost
good,
me
my
so
car
much more than I
keeps
planned
going
to.
now."
Can I derail this again very quickly? I had to go to the doctor again this week, which I've been doing a lot. I've been very sick. I'm a walking fucking pharmacy right now. Full of steroids and antibiotics. It's all good. It's all great. But I went to the doctor, and I haven't been there since pre-pandemic. I've just been lucky. I don't know. My health has been good. I
Okay.
haven't been there since pre-pandemic. And this is my doctor's surgery I've been going to for 7 years. Right?
Mhm.
Now, my usual GP was busy, so I just went with like the other guy that I vaguely recognized.
Never do
And I
that. Yep.
turn up, and because obviously the chesty cough, the sinus and stuff, They go, hey, you need to do a COVID test. Easy peasy, negative COVID. I knew I didn't have COVID.
Yeah.
No problem. And I walk in and he goes, oh, so you're a new patient. And I'm like, what? He goes, oh, you're a new patient to the surgery. And I went, no. And
No.
he goes, oh, well, I'm looking at your record and there's nothing in here. And I went, like, I've been coming here for like 7 years now. I definitely have records.
Right.
That's weird. It's empty. It's blank. Like, oh, that's weird. So we do the usual procedure. I tell you about the ridiculous sign I saw in the parking lot about phone phone conversations in your car can be overheard outside of your car.
Yeah. Neighbors
Insane
complaining
warning.
that they've
Insane.
overheard people's phone conversation.
Talking about doctor, which I get, doctor shit,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, come out of it. I'm fat chatting the receptionist for a while because she's bang up for a chat. And eventually we get to the next conversation. I said, hey, I just need to ask you. He said that I'm not in the system anymore. And I definitely am. I've been here for ages. Like a long time. And this seems just like I was like, is it a clerical error? Like, did someone miskey my last name? So I'll have a look for you. So she McNeil, who else? Has a look. Can't find me in the system at all. Like no hide or hair of me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I go, and then I have to break out the embarrassing stuff. And I'm like, well, presumably you guys keep a log of all of the prescriptions you issue. Because yeah, it's like a legal requirement. We do it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you
search the dong enlarger pills? Because I've been here before for those.
So I did at one point, one of the side effects of the antidepressants I was taking at the time was an issue with blood pressure.
Okay.
And so one of the ways that my doctor was like, oh, we can work around that.
Yeah.
Is he was like, well, if we give you Viagra, that's obviously a blood thinner. And that was the last medication.
This guy didn't say like pop a paracetamol or something. He said, we'll kick you some fucking off the books fucking
so that was
dong pills.
That was how it was originally. It's a low dose, but that was originally what they thought that
a
was
low dose. What
Viagra.
Just half chub you? What are you talking about? A low dose?
It didn't chub you at all because it was that low. But like that's what Viagra started as, was like a blood thinner. And so and she said, well, what was the last script we issued you? And it's sudden as she said that, it occurred to me in real time that I would have to say to this very attractive person who's been very nice to me,
the boner pills.
The big dong pills was the last thing that you sent me. And to which she had to reply to me, oh, yeah, I don't have any record of that.
So now it looks like you're lying about that as well. And she's thinking, why would he lie about that? Why would he just bring that up and then lie to me about that?
And so whatever the friendly, kind of vaguely flirty energy was immediately disappeared.
Evaporated, yeah.
And I had to sort of wait for the next 5 minutes while she checked a few other things, and then I paid my bill and beat my hasty retreat. And I have to be honest, I was already feeling crap because I'm sick. I had to do this whole fucking COVID thing. I had to go through the whole doctor's. That was like a real nail in the coffin of my week of like, well, that was the most depressing thing I've done in a long time. It makes someone uncomfortable unnecessarily because what am I gonna lie about the most recent medication they issued me? No, that's even worse. It just there's no good. So I felt bad for her. I felt bad for myself. I just felt it was a bad experience.
Just say, oh, I don't know. I think they were like blood thinners or something. It's not too important. Anyway, what's the damage? How much do I owe you?
Yeah, but I'm not thinking clearly at that point because I haven't slept properly in a week and a half.
So you fell ass backwards into mentioning the boner pills.
I put my foot all the way in it. Yeah. I didn't put my dick in it.
You really put your dick in it, mate.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah. It's
classic.
Let's get back to the question. I just thought you should know, James. That happened to me this week.
Perfect. Hey, and you know what? The anniversary edition is all about the listeners getting to know us more, and they've learned a lot of great renting tips, which is great in this financial climate. They've learned that my roof fell off, and they've learned about your half chubby dong blood pill problem. So that's good. You know?
Yeah. I mean, to summarize, I'm a tactless fuckwit. And James's roof fell in.
Yeah, the roof did fall off, yeah. But
yeah.
Hey, real quick.
What's up?
Did the pills help you, or they help with your blood flow issues?
They assisted in some areas
Yeah.
of the blood flow. I d- it they they were blue. Let me say that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
old joke, oh, the blue
And
pill.
you
They were
thought,
blue
and you
in their
thought,
color.
oh, thank God the dong pills are blue, like the ones that I've seen on film and television.
Film and television. I might probably still have some somewhere because it was a big prescription. I didn't use all of them.
Hey, Guyver from Queensland. Hello.
Hey,
We're also
Guyver
from
Gaming.
Queensland.
We're also from Queensland, so really hi from inside the house. The call is coming from inside
Call.
the house.
The stream is coming from inside your house,
Yeah,
Guyver.
yeah. You missed
Oh
You're probably
God, don't
better off not
recap, dude.
hearing.
Don't recap the
No, I
dong
wasn't going to.
pills.
All I was
Okay,
gonna say
it's
is
been out there on the internet.
yeah, you're best. You know what? You're good. You missed the
Yeah.
worst part of the stream.
Guyver, watch the VOD, peep his dong story, and now let's help Travis. David, Travis, he's gone into a restaurant. It's 3 p.m. He's dining solo. Place isn't very busy, which is fine with him. The waitress, Jay, brings him his food. He gets about halfway through his plate, and then he has to go to the bathroom. Perfectly fine. Insane that you're eating breakfast at 3 p.m., but we'll move past it. It was gone maybe 10 minutes, and when I came out to the table, it was cleared. And so it should be. 10 minutes is too long.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Don't know what you were doing in there. You've only just begun your... So many questions. So many questions. I hadn't given any indication I was done, so I was surprised, but sat down. You gave every indication that you were done. You fucked off for 10 minutes. You left your plate of food unattended on the table at 3 p.m. for 10 whole minutes. You gave every sign that you weren't coming back.
Insane.
Unless you can't say like, oh, you know, I didn't give any indication. Unless you walked into the toilet and said, just going for a shit, everyone. Don't clear that.
You could say, less gross. You could say, hey, I'll be right back. Don't clear my shit.
Yeah,
Don't clear my shit.
Potato, whatever works for you, you know? Different strokes, I guess.
I hate when James does that. He has this way of like making everything I say sound like I'm a fucking idiot. Just is like really James is perfect at dismissing the way that I think. And I love it. It's effortless. Because now that you said that, I'm like, well, that is an insane thing to say out loud. Why would anyone do that? That's insane.
David Guyver wants to know what we normally talk about. Give him the elevator pitch.
Of the advisory?
Yeah.
The advisory is a weekly advice podcast where we try and unpack the insanity that is humanity as we all circle the drain toward the end of the world. We all try and learn a little bit more about each other, empathy, and mostly, if we're being
advice,
honest,
dude.
James
Sorry, so much. He's
advice.
confusing you. It's advice. We're helping answer the internet's worst questions.
That was
Super
actually a really
simple.
good microcosm.
What did you?
We answered the internet's worst questions, and James makes fun of me.
But what was? Sidebar, really quick. What was that?
What was what?
What was your one? Where were you going with that?
That was the original.
Why was it real? Like, yeah, no, but why was it real? Like, sad boy. You know what I mean? Are you okay?
That's who I am.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not okay.
Okay. Why?
I've never been okay. Why would you ever think that? No, I've not been okay since I was fucking 6 years old.
David, Jay walks past the lady who works at the restaurant. She walks by and the guy says, she says, oh, I thought you dined and dashed. To which I said, no, I'd excused myself to the bathroom, but I can understand since I was dining alone, it looked empty. And Jay tells me how dining and dashing has become a real problem. Oh. Jay leaves, and when Jay comes back, she has the bill in hand. And I asked for my food to be remade.
Whoa. First of all, he wrote dinning, not dining. I just want to call that out. Second, so you go to the bathroom, you come back, and you sit down, and she comes back and she goes, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Pay for it.
Pay for the food that you got 2 mouthfuls of. That I cleared.
Before you inexplicably need to do a shit at 3 p.m. Yep, I'm with you. Okay, just recapping.
So he asked for his food to be remade, obviously.
Yeah.
Jay explains she can't bring my order back because it's already been tossed. I say, that's fine. I just want my order remade. Oh, welcome to the society, Guyver. Welcome.
To the society, Guyver.
He just wants his food remade, and Jay is exasperated, saying how she can't possibly keep track of everything and asks for me to pay the check. I explain I'm not paying to eat half a meal.
Didn't he say it was basically
I'd
empty?
say, Jay, look, dog, we're on different wavelengths here right now. Okay. I didn't eat the food. You want me to pay for it. Let's reset back to zero. I'll dine and dash on you right now. Don't make me do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'll come back
You
in. Let's
you go for the
reset.
threat.
I'll walk out. I'll come back in. You take my order. We'll start again. We'll start again. After
And you know
walking
what?
off,
Fuck,
after
I
walking
like your
off,
pitch. Mm.
Jay came back and said the restaurant was out of my meal, so they couldn't remake it. She said, and she just walked into the kitchen. She stood there for 3 minutes and then didn't
Came
talk to
back
anyone
out.
and then just came straight back out and went,
Yep.
yeah, we don't have it. I absolutely am guilty of that. When I was like 15 and I worked at Action, like 14 or 15, I was only
You worked
doing
at
I
what?
was Action. It was like a Bilo. It was like a shitty Coles or worse. Anyway,
Okay, sure.
I did meat department cleanup, and so
Oh, that sounds grim.
it was disgusting. It was fucking awful. Everyone had gone home, right? By the time I'm in there, like cleaning, all the butchers, they're done, they're gone. So I'm in there and just cleaning shit, and people would come up and to your window and just come in to where you are and be like, "Hey, do you have any?" This old couple came in one time and they were like, "Do you have any duck?" And I was like, "Oh, hang on, let me check." And I just walked into the freezer and I stood there for a minute.
Mhm.
No, just walked back out and went, no duck today. Sold out of duck, I
I've
guess.
checked. I've checked and it's done. Yeah. That's it happens.
She said she could give me 15% off the meal, but I objected and politely asked to speak with the manager to explain the situation. Jay said she already told the manager and that was the most their computer system was possible of computing.
Oh.
Okay.
They're comping. Like they can't give a larger discount than that.
Right. It
Yeah.
seems like a manager should be able to override that, but I have no real way of knowing.
You
Bullshit. I
sir,
think.
you
I don't
sir,
know. I've
this
already come out and I've yelled it and I've screamed at you, and I'm confident that you can't give more, but now I don't know. I
this
don't know.
guy has never worked a fucking hospo job in his entire life. Corporate locks that shit down. There are
Right.
three
Okay.
buttons, and you go, 5%, 10%, 15%.
Yeah.
Why would the manager? The manager works for like a big old corpo chain. They can't fucking override that
Yeah.
shit.
They're like, I'm so sorry. I have 3 buttons. I have
It's
pay, cancel, and 5% off. That's it.
yeah, that's it. And I get paid $23 an hour, $1 more than the people I supervise.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable at this point and ask
Yeah.
again to bring the manager so we can talk together. The manager's a very nice lady in her 50s, not at all like the attitude of Jay. And we come to the conclusion that Jay will cancel the original order, $15, and instead bring up the order as a side, $5, since they couldn't comp the meal more. In the end, I didn't get a remade meal. I thanked the manager, paid $5, tipped Jay 15% of the original order total. Pretty good. Given the
Yeah.
circumstances, this seemed very fair, and I'm glad it worked out in a weird way.
This is so fucking unhinged. This is the problem. Not to get on my fucking shit again. This is why like a bunch of big businesses shouldn't own everything. The fact that like to make this right, the manager had to be like, well, I can't give you a larger discount. And we're out of the food that we need to remake your meal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cancel the $15 on your credit card. And I'm gonna ring it up as a bowl of chips
Yeah.
so that you've paid for the meal you ate, but not more of the meal that we threw away by accident. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's real like the you've got like the string and the board and you're like connecting all of the photos and
Yeah.
stuff. That's a real it's a Rubik's Cube solution on that one.
Well, when I worked at Sizzler, the point of sale thing that we had, like the whatever the fucking software was, it was like a screen of buttons where
Mm.
you could add stuff to orders and you could remove them. But the refund screen was like it was like a a level of the original Doom game where it's impossible to figure
Yeah.
out what the fuck you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
how to make it work. And they would come in and do training. Like corporate would come in and be like, this is how you
Yeah, it's really
refund a meal.
simple.
And they
You
push
solve these 3 puzzles to be able to even be granted access to the system, right?
they'd be they'd be like, you go to the X marked on the map and you dig up the treasure and you find the USB stick and you come back to the store and you plug it into the drive, and then that drive is going to unlock the crypto sequence where you play solitaire against a robot, and when you solve that, you can give a full
Then we'll
refund.
scan Mary's face while 2 people at corporate turn keys at the same time.
Yes, and if
Then
they're
then
not
we'll grant
working, you
access.
can't do it. And they only work from midnight to 2 a.m., which happens to be not when the store is open.
Or when this guy eats breakfast at 3 PM.
This really feels like one of those situations where, like, okay, let me put this to you, James. You're in this scenario.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom. This would never happen to us at 3 p.m., but let's pretend it's a different time.
You've got to leave something on the table. You have to leave some kind of visual cue that there is a person still about here. Or
now,
or like it's 3 p.m. No one's in there, dude. Just like flag someone down and be like, hey, just go to the bathroom. Don't touch my shit. Oh no. You know, you gotta
don't touch my 3 p.m. breakfast.
You gotta be weird about it.
You have to be, you're in a position where you not being weird was the problem.
Yeah, because you've faded into the background. You've become furniture at that point. You've got to stand out. Make them aware that you're
take
here.
A stand.
Yeah.
Let them know. I just don't see another way. Candidly, I don't see any other way around this. I mean, in the absence
can you
of,
take the plate with you? Can you take the plate with you?
Oh, that feels unhygienic.
Sorry, 2 seconds ago, you were fine with taking a beer to the bathroom.
I've just heard myself say that. And why is it okay to take a beer to the bathroom? Well, because I guess beer is mostly water and piss is mostly water.
What about the toots and the poops? I don't want to make a blue, but what about the toots and the poops? And that gets into the cup.
Sorry, I'm going to do a poop at a bar? No, thank you.
He was in there for 10 minutes. You think he was fucking taking a piss?
I'm not shitting in public.
But this guy does. He orders breakfast at 3 p.m. and he takes 10-minute shits in public. Okay. This guy is unhinged. There's no helping you. They should have given you nothing. They should have given you nothing.
You should have walked in and they said, sir, we can't serve your kind here.
Yeah.
So we can't, sir, please.
Well, they would sit down.
It's 3 p.m.
But they wouldn't know until he started giving the order. You know, he's like, oh,
they should have stopped it. Jay,
let me get the scrambled eggs, and then she just starts closing her pad.
Just closing
no,
putting the cover on it.
We're not going to do that,
sir. We can't do that for you. It's 3 p.m.
I'm gonna need you to leave.
Get your life sorted. You've got some other priorities to organize, and I can't serve you eggs at 3 p.m.
Yeah, she should have given you some real-time advice. And that's
this is on her.
Couple of people are at fault here, you know.
Boundary setting is important.
Exactly.
People would come in and they would order a very well done eye fillet or a very well done T-bone.
Right.
And I would say to the front of house staff, hey, we can't do that. It's physically impossible.
Mm.
And every now and then a customer would insist, I need you to put it through. That's how I want it done. And you go out to the table and you'd have the docket in your hand and you'd say, sir or madam, you've asked for the impossible. You've asked for a thick cut steak done very well done. Though you can see how those might be sort of in tension with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would say, well, that's how I want it done. And you'd say, I understand. I can't
more people just have to start saying when they get that order and they go, and can I get, the thick cut steak, whatever, can I get that well done? More people just need to go, whatever, and then go and place it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shame them out of ordering it.
Give it the chewed.
The most fucked up thing happened to me when I went out for steaks with people. Well, we didn't go out for steaks. We went out for dinner. Everyone decided to get steaks at this place. It's like medium rare, all across the table.
some can't very well
Then
done.
one guy. Am I
So
going to
your
name
meal
him?
took.
Yes.
Okay.
My brother-in-law. I love you. Okay. Sam, I love you, my brother-in-law. But when everyone else orders medium and medium rare, and you're sitting at the end of the table and you hit them with a well done,
That's 40 minutes.
That's the domino effect of you've just fucked everyone at the table.
That's 40. So because the two conclusions are, either way you're waiting 40 minutes, but either my steak is cold because it's a bad kitchen and they don't, prioritize the way they cook stuff properly.
Well,
So my medium rare is
just cooking through the order. They're like, yeah, medium rare, calling them out. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, fuck. I really should start reading these before. I need to read it all the way through. That's my
one
bad.
scenario. That's one scenario. Or they are so annoyed by the time that the well done is finished that they've half-assed the rest of the order because they've got 5 dockets coming since then.
Yeah.
They have fully fucked you.
You've thrown a spanner into the works, not just for our table, but for the entire rest of the restaurant.
For everyone else.
Yeah.
Someone's fucking fish and chips is getting overcooked because of you.
Plus, I bet one of the chefs had to go look up or ask someone, how long do I cook this for? Because they know, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, yeah, chicken, pull that out, sear in the pan, heat in the oven, 10 minutes, done.
It's like an instinct.
You'd forget because you'd be like, well, no one does
you
this.
never do it.
Yeah.
The medium for the long. So we had an issue in our restaurant, which is we used to sell out of medium rare and rare like markers that we would put in the steak to help us identify how the weight stuff.
Right.
We had a little picket we put in. We used to sell out. We used to run out of them all the time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we've never run out of well done ever.
Yeah.
It's the
purple rock star.
I ordered 1 box in 4 years.
Yeah.
From our supplier.
It's the purple rock star, dude.
It's the purple rock star of steaks.
Yeah. You see every other like flavor. I don't even drink rock star anymore, but you would see every other flavor gone, and then there's a full shelf of purple rock star. Stop ordering the purple rock star.
Is that advisory exclusive? Have you confessed that online that you don't drink Rockstar anymore? Is that because they didn't do the original black flavor anymore?
Well, the original black flavor was the best. Then it went away. Then it came back. They clearly fucked with the formula, and they lost to me.
Do you do an energy drink now?
A Red Bull. Yeah, I'll do a Red Bull.
You do a Red Bull?
Yeah.
Can I be honest? Energy drink, they scare me a little bit. Energy drinks, they scare me.
Face your fears. This weekend.
I'm a coward.
This weekend, a little challenge for you. Drink one of those small, like 275 ml.
I have one.
Then
one of my buddies. This was, I don't know how. It could be off. This was maybe 2 years ago.
Doesn't go off.
Bunch of work people came over.
It's vintage.
Some drinks.
You have a vintage.
Aged.
You have a vintage 2021 Red Bull. That's all you've got.
Is it sweet? What does it taste like?
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, 1,000 years old.
I've never had an energy drink.
Drink one this weekend. That's all I'm telling you.
Find
out. Grip it and rip it.
Know. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like for me. That's all.
Are they sweet? In 2023, you just ask if an energy drink is sweet.
Never had one.
They all are. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
I'm just asking.
Is it sweet? You just asked.
Doesn't have to be a thing. You're making it a thing.
These donuts, guys. Just before I tuck into this crispity cream,
I don't know.
This sugar glazed crispity cream. Can I just ask everyone here? This isn't sweet, is it?
Okay, you're being a little antagonist.
So glazed in sugar, I can see my reflection in it. Crispity cream. Is this sweet? Per chance?
If I've not had one, how would I know?
David, we did it. 12 whole months of advice giving on the internet.
It's, a lot of people said it couldn't be done. Specifically, my mom said stop.
Yeah.
And said stop calling me on Thursday nights for your podcast.
Yeah.
It's really disruptive to my life. I'd appreciate you not putting me live on air, and I refuse to stop doing that. She said it shouldn't be done, and we said yes. We said yes, we can.
We lost a lot of friends along the way.
There were some casualties for sure.
Mainly
Um,
because they took some of the advice that we gave. So that's
and
our fault.
a lot of
That's
them
our fault.
did fake their deaths and move countries. Well, allegedly, we
Well,
can't
I don't
prove it.
know. It's hard to say. None of them
It's
had
it's a
funerals, which
question.
is bizarre actually now that I think back on it.
Yeah, it's odd, but also, is that also is it odd or is it evidence?
David, before we wrap this up, before we wrap up
Yeah.
our advisory stream and
Okay.
then have a
Yeah.
brief break and come back for
A
our
little piss
advisory
break.
post show, our stream anniversary post show.
Just some dudes being guys.
Guys being dudes, you know how it is.
Sorry, did I get it wrong?
No, I like that you gave it a little bit, you gave it your own flavor, your own flair, and I
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
12 months of straight advice giving on the internet. What have
Yeah.
you learned? And what is your most seminal piece of advice that you, David McNeil, would share with the listener or viewer
Sort
of
of
this
advice, I
show?
guess.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I've learned, the best piece of advice that we've given, I think,
Okay.
unprepared. You've sprung this on me, by the way. You've followed me into a dark alley.
But this is what we do, you know? And we're
Yeah, but
developing
you know
those
what? I'm bad at
reflexes.
improv. I'm bad at improv. That's like
My Well,
famously.
I'll give you a minute to think about something.
Sure.
My
Okay.
my biggest piece of advice, having done this for 1 year now, as long as we don't count the 2.5 years in the 75 episodes before 2022, obviously. So just being brand new to advice giving myself, having only done it for 12 months with my good friend
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
My most seminal piece of advice would be, when you're feeling down and when you're feeling blue, I'm going to tell you just what you should do. Just grip it and rip it, dude. Life.
Yeah.
Actually, can I give you a very specific piece of advice just for 2023? 2023, and this is actually something I'm living by in 2023.
Okay.
We're making them. Well, I'll say the other one, which is a better one. We're taking what we want. In 2023,
Yeah.
we're taking what
do
we
it.
want. And you might be afraid of doing something because you're like, oh no, I'm going to get rejected. In 2023, we're making them tell us no. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In all the
Yep.
best ways, not in like however someone wants to take that in like a weird, only good stuff is what we're saying. I'm just saying you might be afraid to apply for that job. You might be afraid to like start that album. You might be afraid to do an advice podcast with your friend for 12 months,
You wouldn't be afraid of that though.
Me? No. Overcome that
You-
fear.
Because again, you've been doing this since 1997.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be afraid of that.
I'm just saying. You're applying for that job or whatever. You go, oh no, they're going to reject me. Make them say no. Ask them.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there.
Put the ask out there.
Because the realization is that there are dumber people than you who are way more successful. And it's purely because they're just taking what they want.
Shamelessly taking what they want.
They're just putting it out there. They're making people say no because there's a lot of yeses on the other side of just doing the ask. A lot of yeses.
Yeah. I think that's good advice.
Take that swing.
That's-
Swing for the
hey.
fences, dude.
The worst that happens is nothing changes.
The worst thing is they say no and you're right here where you were.
Where you
Nothing
were.
happened.
You risk nothing, gain nothing.
Mm-hmm.
My advice would be, whatever the thing is, just do a little bit when you can. The biggest thing I've learned this year, I think genuinely, is like, I have a big, busy life. I do a bunch of shit. Do a little bit when you can of the stuff you love, and do it with people that you give a shit and you like, right? Do it with people that you give a shit about and that you like doing it with. Genuinely. The biggest joy of my life is that once a week we get to do this show. Very fun. The highlight of my week.
Mhm.
Get to
Me
hang out
too.
with my boy James. One of the biggest joys of my life is that every 2 weeks I get to do a fun podcast with my boy Patrick. Every month, I get to do a podcast with Mitchie and Patrick. It's one of my favorite things. I consider myself so lucky that I have found and cultivated a bunch of people around me that I want to make cool things with and that are awesome to spend time with. And like it is such and it's hard. It takes a long time to find those people. You're gonna run into people in the mix that aren't that present themselves as that. They're not your people. They seem like they are, but they're not. It's gonna take a long time. But you have to be disciplined in that way. And you have to put yourself out there and find those people and start making those relationships because truly creativity, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You can't do any shit alone. Black Swan isn't Black Swan Club. It's not Black Swan Team. It's society. All right. It's a project. It's a group project, and that is the most important thing to me. And the older I get, and the more of the shit I do, the more it occurs to me that it, it yes, what I'm doing matters, but who I'm doing it with is more important.
Love it.
That to me is the most important thing. Um, find people that you want to do it with. Seek those people out. Find those places. I
And
consider myself
buy
so
single pieces of furniture.
buy
Yeah.
don't buy things that click together.
No.
If it's in multiple pieces and
People-
it doesn't if it doesn't attach together
They
with
wanna
a
sell you
giant
modular.
bolt, don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, also, actually, this is a good piece of advice. Fuck IKEA.
Yeah.
Fuck IKEA. Fuck flat pack furniture. Buy local. Buy from local manufacturers that make shit that is designed to last. Fuck big business. Fuck corporations. Fuck capitalism. Buy local. Find people in your local community that you trust to deliver things. Go to markets. Go to butchers. Fuck big
Definitely
business.
do those things.
Yeah, seriously.
Buy
it will
the
change your life.
least amount of things you can. Coles and Woolworths, if you can. If you have a market near you, which they're on every weekend, dude. We go to them every Saturday now.
If you have the privilege of time and the availability to do so, and if you don't, do not feel bad about that. We have been there. We were talking about that earlier in this episode. We've both been in that position where time is your most precious resource because you're getting paid fucking $15 a fucking hour to do a shit job, and you're always tired and you're always feeling like crap. If you have the privilege to spend money with local vendors that give a shit about the community, you owe it to yourself and the people around you to do it.
And don't buy the myth of modular.
James, wow. Thank you so much for listening to an entire year of the advisory. This is our favorite thing to do every week. You can get us on the socials everywhere you'd expect. You can watch the VODs at youtube.com/@Black Swan Society, or simply go to YouTube and type in Black Swan Society and we will show up. You can follow us on TikTok for short clips at BLK Swan Society. That is at BLK Swan Society. Or you can send us your DMs, your messages, your voicemails on Instagram at BLK Swan Society. But the best way we think to engage with what we do is to join the conversation like Guyver did. Almost mispronounced that. Like Guyver did this week. Join us. Every week we stream the advisory 6 p.m. AEST on twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. And of course, follow us on Twitter for updates for when we might be particularly streaming. We don't really use Twitter that much. I'm writing a book over there, but follow us wherever you find us. We're on the socials. Get at us. Send us your DMs. Send us your opinions. But honestly, if you want to, you say, hey, oh my God, those funny boys, I have some advice I need to ask them. Want to send them some feedback, but only positive advice, please, and positive feedback, please. Email us blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. Send us your questions. Send us your advice that you need. Send us anything you want. blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes down below wherever you're consuming this. If you want to help support us and help more people find the show, help more people you think might enjoy it find what we do, the best way to do that is to give us a rating or a review on your podcast catcher or platform of choice. If it's Apple iTunes, you can do it right in app. Give us 5 stars, leave us a review. If you're in Spotify, just tap on the thing you're listening to, go to the podcast, and it's right at the top. There's a button where you can press and you can give us 5 stars. It really helps more people find what we do. And the more people that find what we do, the more success, and the more people that find us, the more time we can dedicate, and the more cool, interesting things we can try and do. We are part of Black Swan Society, which is our mission to generate a creative collective that gives a shit about the stuff that matters. Let's get weird. Let's get rowdy. I speak for myself when I say that this year has been fucking awesome. I have really thoroughly enjoyed every aspect of what we've done. James has really put his foot forward and done an incredible job on the editing and the thumbnails and his work on the post production. And we are really, really excited for the year ahead. Black Swan Society is our passion project, and we hope one day will become something we can do full time. It's very exciting for us. We love doing this. We will be here regardless of whether or not you give us a subscriber, you give us a rating or a review. We'll be here doing it anyway, but it does help us out. And we appreciate everyone that does it. James, this is the end of our anniversary live stream recording. However, it is not the end of the stream. We'll be doing a bit of a post show. We're going to be chilling out, pouring some beers, watching, maybe whiskey, something like that. We're going to watch ourselves some YouTube and test out a stream idea that we've had cooking for a while. We want to be doing more of this. And of course, we can justify doing more of this if we get more people involved, then we can find the space and the capacity in our lives to do it. And the way to do that is for more people to find our show. Do you have any parting words for our 1 year anniversary advisory episode?
Yeah, sorry how waffly David got there. I apologize for that. And coming up in the next year, sort of like the next year going forward, we'll try and sort of get a real wrangle on, him and his words, in the time that he sort of takes to get them out and stuff like that. So, I've read all the comments, I've read your feedback, I've read the responses to the Survey Monkey poll that I sent around about the length of David talking. All I can say, guys, is I'm working on it. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's sort of what I would like to go out on this episode, having said, because it's important to sort of bookend, with the important stuff, and I think that's really important. So
yeah, I'm told that constantly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching or listening. If you are listening to the podcast feed, we appreciate you stopping by, and if you're watching live, we will be right back.